despotic microorganisms, we multiplied, mutated, migrated. Did we dance the currents, play chase in the eddies? Once a single unified body of movement before being dragged in different directions by the drift. Before we became islands, man and woman, black and white, human and animal, our waters broke as we boasted, battled and rolled to be the best of beasts, spurred on by a relentless need to claim this world, a world already ours, with an abundance laid free and plenty. Without prejudice, we pillaged her for power, prominence and prosperity. Billions of years to prove that we have not evolved at all. The deep is not concerned with tribes and politics, hierarchies and economies, confused by our compulsion to construct castles of consumption like counterfeit cornucopia. The ocean sighs with regret. With intake of breath, she expands and rises to drown our deceit or to submerge us from shame, perhaps to persuade her prodigal progeny to pay penance, or an invitation to return home so that she might try again. I want to be blonde when I grow up, have long, shapely legs and a double D cup. I'm only 4, but I know where I stand, although the daughter of an immigrant, Barbie and Jane Fonda still have an imprint. I want to be blonde when I grow up. A child understands how beauty is perceived. She doesn't know how the gene pool works, but she knows what society sees. Brown skin, dark hair, bony knees. And later, when those double Ds I thought I would grow turned out to be Bs, and then I waited for a growth spurt that, in case you're wondering, never arrived. As a half-caste Fijian Indian living in small-town New Zealand, I survive as a brown bogan sieving through any subculture that will take. I cover up and hide from the sun while my mates stretch out for the full tan bake. All the girls wear short skirts and their virginity is something to share, not keep. But when I dress like my 60-year-old aunties, with nose rings and exposed midriff, I'm told I look cheap. Comments like, "You're pretty, well, for an Indian," or, "Well, at least you don't have that curry scent." Those are supposed to be compliments. But then in 2001, cultural appropriation comes to save the day. Bindis are cool, Gwen Stefani wears henna, Madonna practices yoga every day. You see, being Indian, it's not cool, but Indian accessories, they're okay. Put away the coconut oil and turmeric. Use beauty products packaged in plastic and foil. Don't let the neighbours see the puja fire or smell the burning spice. Eat with cutlery. Eating with your hands isn't nice. Tone down the drumming, the incense and chilies for luck. If you don't set your traditions aside, you'll be stuck. But it's not me that's stuck, and neither is my country that constantly moves like the seismic waves that are always reshaping the ground. Each time we stamp our feet, tremors of social movement can be found through small things like the odd brown face in catalogues and on TV, City Council hosting Diwali Festival of Lights, regular Bollywood movie screening nights. These are small things, but in time they have meant that getting to know your foreign neighbour might be time well spent, that we can have a Governor-General who is a real New Zealander and of Indian descent. That diversity should bring vibrancy to a country, not a reason to hate, fear and resent. So I look at my 4-year-old nephew who loves to wear tutus and wants to drive a fire truck, and I think, don't change too much, don't let anyone tell you that you're stuck, because I want you to be bold when you grow up. I'm no good at writing love poems. I write angry poems and sad poems. I write about injustice and discrimination. I write about unsung tragedies and reparation. But I'm no good at writing love poems. I love you. This is no less true from day one to the years that followed on. I love you as the woman I am and as the girl long gone. I spent more than half of my life in love with you. And I keep waiting for all of this love to dry up until it's gone. It just keeps going on and on. Sunshine Sundays and jazz. Sunshine Sundays and jazz. Oh, you're like sunshine, you're light. You feel like sunshine, my light. And it grows into some celestial being that I can't describe. You see, that's why I can't write love poems. I only know what's of this earth, where all good things demise. Romance, it's a temporary state, a fool's dream that will leave you alone in rags and midnight with a pumpkin, left to return to mundane lives. Love is a fantasy. It's a lie based upon other lies. So am I. And so was that time we swam half naked in the harbour under a moonlit sky. And the countless times that you have ceaselessly carried me and all of my burdens when all I could do was cry. And then there was that one time when we decided that no ordinary life was for us. We wanted to fly and rediscover why this configuration of you and I, it's all we need to get by. Sunshine Sundays and jazz. Sunshine Sundays and jazz. Oh, you're like sunshine, you're light. You feel like sunshine, my life. But the real for us is in the mundane sublime, our Sunday jazz and sunshine followed by afternoon delight. And our love is no less real when we fight, because a good fight, it's always right when you're fighting for the right reasons, and when it comes down to it, we are always fighting for us. And I know that love poems are supposed to use metaphors about the beauty of behemoth mountain vistas, the infinite wonder of our unending universes, some sort of comparison to a metaphysical life force that does not exist. But that would feel like bullshit. And an insult to what this really is. Because for you and I, love, it just is. Sunshine Sundays and jazz. Sunshine Sundays and jazz. Oh, you're like sunshine, you're light. You feel like sunshine, my life. You guys can do all the next bit with me if you like. It's just going to repeat sunshine a lot. You come along then. Ready? Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. One more time. Sunshine, sunshine. Today I wore my favourite dress, a majestic dress that stood out from the rest as it was illuminated theatre-esque by the lighting across the floor. And I must confess, the day I bought the dress, I did not look my best. In fact, I was a mess, so I bought the dress to revel in my ability to find and invest in something with finesse. But as I went to press the best dress that made me so impressed, I profess, I was surprised to see the tag said, "Made in Bangladesh." And I started to regret every cent that I had spent that put a bit of a dent in my funds that should have been put aside for rent. In fact, the money had been lent by a mate who was heaven sent to help me pay my rent, but instead I had spent on a dress made in Bangladesh. So as I started to repent about the money that had been lent and spent, not just because of my rent, because how I knew the dress was made in Bangladesh, I wanted to know. Who had picked the cotton? Was it children taken long ago and forgotten? Who had operated the machinery to have it woven? Was the warehouse hot and devoid of air like the inside of an oven? Who had dyed the cloth and stitched the hem? And could they escape from a fire safely? Did they sleep under their machines at night, as on my travels I have often seen? Did they work long hours? Were they paid fairly? Did they have any sense of what it was to be free? And how could I forget that for workers' rights to change, consumer choice is the real key? How could I forget that exploitation might start in Bangladesh, but it ends with me? Let's not pretend we're helpless. Let's not just stay abreast of this commercial mess or lament and distress over those who've been oppressed, because we're not helpless. And I did not write this poem in jest or to brag about how I bought some fancy dress. I wrote it to confess about the time I bought a dress, and in doing so, disregarded all of those laid to rest.